What if your GPS led you to a house that hasn't existed for 50 years? Tonight, we uncover the viral thread of the Courier and the phantom address. It began on a humid Tuesday evening for a delivery rider named Dimas. Dimas was finishing his shift when one last notification pinged on his phone. The delivery address was located in an old outskirts district of the city. He didn't recognize the street name, but the map guided him forward. The air grew colder as he turned onto a narrow, unpaved path. Finally, the GPS announced, "You have arrived at your destination." But Dimas saw nothing but a flat, empty field of weeds and rubble. He checked the address again. Block C, number 44. This was the spot. There were no houses here, just a single rusted iron gate standing alone. Thinking it was a system error, he tried calling the customer. Instead of a ringtone, he heard a high-pitched, rhythmic scratching sound. Then, a woman's whispered, "Leave it at the door, Dimas." His blood ran cold. How did she know his name? He looked at the gate again. A faint, glowing number 44 appeared on the rust. Terrified, he dropped the package at the gate and sped away. The next morning, Dimas tried to forget the incident. But when he arrived at the warehouse, his supervisor looked worried. A customer had complained that their package was never delivered. Block C, number 44, the same one from last night. But the system showed the package was still in Dimas's delivery bag. He was certain he had left it. He had felt the weight leave his hands. Under pressure, Dimas was ordered to redeliver it that evening. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky a bruised purple. He returned to the wasteland, hoping it was just a strange dream. This time, an elderly man was standing by the side of the road. Dimas stopped and asked about Block C, number 44. The old man laughed, a dry, rattling sound like dead leaves. "Son, that house burned down in 1974, the old man whispered. A whole family disappeared in the smoke. Nothing was ever rebuilt. Dimas felt a cold sweat prickle his neck. He looked back at the field. Suddenly, the gate wasn't alone. A faint outline of a porch appeared. He blinked, and it was gone. Just the wind howling through the weeds. He dropped the box and turned his bike to flee, but the engine stalled. The silence that followed was heavy and suffocating. From the middle of the empty field, he heard a door creak open. There was no door, just the gate, but the sound was unmistakable. "Dimas, the package is leaking." He looked down. A thick, black fluid was seeping from the cardboard box. It smelled like old earth and something long forgotten. He finally got the bike started and roared away without looking back. Back at home, Dimas couldn't sleep. The scratching sound was in his head. He opened his phone to delete the delivery app, but it wouldn't close. A new message appeared from the customer. "Thank you for the memories." Attached was a photo. Dimas felt his heart stop. The photo showed the house as it looked in the 70s, grand and bright. And there, standing in the front yard, was a man who looked exactly like Dimas. The next day, Dimas went to the local library to research the 1974 fire. He found an old newspaper clipping with a headline, "Family of 3 Perish." The father's name was different, but the resemblance was terrifying. The article mentioned a missing package that was blamed for starting the fire. A delivery that arrived late and contained highly flammable chemicals. Dimas realized he wasn't just delivering a package, he was repeating history. He decided he had to see what was inside that box once and for all. He returned to the field during the day, but it felt even more wrong. The package was still there, sitting by the gate, untouched by the sun. He knelt down and tore the tape off with trembling hands. Inside, there were no chemicals, there were no 1970s items. The box was filled with thousands of delivery slips, all signed by him. "You're always on time, Demas," a voice echoed from nowhere. The ground beneath him began to feel soft, like sinking sand. He looked up and saw the house fully formed, but it was made of ash. A figure stood in the doorway, a woman in a charred dress. She held out a hand. "One more delivery and you can stay." Demas backed away, but his motorcycle was gone. His path was gone. He ran. He ran until his lungs burned and his legs gave out. He didn't stop until he reached the main road and the lights of the city. He quit his job the next morning and threw his phone into the river. For months, he stayed indoors, afraid of every knock on the door. But one day, he heard a familiar notification ping. He didn't have the delivery app anymore. He didn't even have that phone. Yet, the screen lit up with a map and a red pin. The address was his current apartment, number 44. He heard a motorbike engine idle outside his window. A knock came at his door. Slow, rhythmic, scratching. Demas looked through the peephole and screamed. Standing there was a courier in a yellow jacket, holding a leaking box. "I have a package for you." Some addresses are never forgotten, and some deliveries never end. Demas was never seen again, but the thread continues to grow. Next time you order something, check the address twice. You might be next. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.